My name is Lance Preston. When I was a boy, my family moved into a house that I soon discovered was haunted. The things I encountered have stayed with me forever. Ever since then, I have been obsessed with trying to capture proof that these things were real. Come along with me and my team of skilled paranormal investigators as we dare to venture into some of the most haunted locations known to man, spending the night and capturing everything on camera. If you're ready, it's time to have some grave encounters.
Just a little rom-com chick flick, you know. We are joined now by Lance Preston, also known as Sean Rogerson. How are you?
Hey, Sean, how are you, man?
I'm doing all right.
So, Grave Encounters, explain the concept, first of all. Reality show in a movie kind of thing?
Reality show in a movie, yeah. It was based on a paranormal investigation team back in 2003 that is just starting to get their footage together and create a show. And that was it.
Are you a man that's easily scared?
I'd like to think not. While working on the movie, it might have proved otherwise, but... Yeah.
Well, so you filmed it in somewhere that's known in Vancouver for being a little bit spooky. It's an abandoned hospital.
Yes.
Do you get creeped out when you're shooting, when you find yourself down a hallway that no one else is there? Do you act like a girl?
There's a certain echo. There's a certain echo that happens, right? Like when you're walking somewhere. That's the...
Yeah, any little sound when you're walking by yourself just kind of sets you off. So yeah. I didn't do that too often.
So what happens to the folks in Grave Encounters?
They're fine.
They're fine. They're totally
everybody's
fine.
good.
Mike warned me not to watch this alone at night,
totally
so I
fine.
actually watched it this morning.
Yeah, take us through this because I did warn Fiona not to watch this by herself because I knew it would scare the pants off her. Or would that be a good thing? Grave Encounters, the camera crew makes some decisions, as people do in movies such as this, that just, they're both understandable and ridiculous at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's the stuff you have to follow to make it a movie, I suppose. But I mean, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go ahead and walk into that room. If something like that happened, I would exit the building immediately.
It was the locking yourself into the hospital
I don't think I would have done that
to me,
either.
that was the moment of, really?
Yeah.
Would you do that for real?
Well, that was how much that Lance believed that something was actually going to happen. And
so what about Sean? Does Sean believe in things that happen? Do you believe in ghosts?
I prefer not to. That
Prefer
way,
not to? Do you or do you not?
I'd say I don't. I'd say
You'd
I don't.
say? You
I'd say I
sound
don't.
sure.
I believe it. I don't think I'm going to see anything. I don't think something's going to pop out and scare me. But
it probably wouldn't go boo.
No.
But don't you have that feeling? Because even I'm a total naysayer, and yet, you know, you do have those feelings sometimes. Like the hair stands up on the back of your neck, stuff like that.
I've been scared. I think something's there.
When you're immersed in a script like this, and when you're acting in this environment, are you more susceptible to having those moments where you're like, okay.
Okay, when I was there, I definitely thought I heard some things at times, and I acted like a little girl. I was terrified. Yeah.
There's your little girl answer.
I just wanted him to say it.
You just want to feel better about it.
I know, because I get scared so easily. But how did audiences react to this film? Because it's currently available on demand, so it has screened in theaters and such. But what did audiences react like to the moments?
It was the whole gambit. It was like they laughed, they were jumping out of their seats, they were terrified. It was great. It was honest.
Well, Sean, there's a beautiful thing. We were talking about it before that you did and the whole cast did and the filmmakers did as well, that inferred anxiety can be more powerful than the actual visuals sometimes. And this movie, Grave Encounters, really does that quite nicely.
It does it off the bat. It's kind of like a paranormal investigation show. I mean, they just show the little things that are going to scare you, but then finally, this one took it to the next level, and I was like, well, if you were going to see it, this is maybe what you might see.
It goes like this. Boom, and then it doesn't stop.
And it doesn't quit. Right.
It's unrelenting.
It's exactly what you would like to see happen.
How much fun is it to see the end? I mean, you go through the whole thing, and you know, you guys are on set, and I'm sure you're having lots of fun in between everything, but then to see it with all the effects and the audio and the post-production and everything else come together, it's got to be fun to watch people actually get scared.
After the edit process, it just, it all comes together, and it becomes exactly what you saw in the script or what you were imagining was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's
So
yeah,
with
it
this
was
kind of
great.
movie, of course, it is a reality television show inside a film, acting like a TV host. So what did you think about those people that act that way?
Tell me, Sean, what did you think about these
Actually,
TV
my
hosts?
attitude.
No, really, what is it like for you to act the reality part? It's interesting because reality is a genre unto itself, and,
Yeah.
and so are the kind of scare horror movies that this film is. So what is it like to marry those two together as an actor?
You know what? It was just that cheese factor, of course, as you saw. You know what? It was just. It was strange because I was playing around with something that I absolutely knew nothing about. You know, usually
Yeah.
you're getting interviewed and trying to interview
Yeah,
people
yeah.
and stuff like that. It's,
Yeah.
you know, it was totally opposite of what.
And
we
yet the
usually
character
do.
stays quite nicely, right? Like the off and on gets blurred as you go through the whole thing. Like
Yes.
he really starts to, you know, he's in it and he's being his genuine
Well,
self.
he becomes a believer. At
Yeah.
the beginning, he's just making a show.
Yeah.
He's there to make $1. He's there to make it successful. And then all of a sudden, he starts to think, oh, maybe this is real. But then maybe I can make more
Do
money
you look
from
at
that.
abandoned buildings differently now?
I
don't.
always.
But I also don't see them, so maybe I'm avoiding them subconsciously.
Perhaps.
What about your friends? Watch, don't watch, scared, not scared?
A lot of them have watched, yeah. And yeah, they said they were scared.
I was scared.
They enjoyed it.
I was scared and it was broad
the
daylight.
First thing I
Yeah.
said, the first thing I did after, because I watched it yesterday afternoon in the
15
office.
minutes in, he takes off his earpiece and he goes, Forbes, don't watch this at home.
Yeah, because I knew she was going to go home and she was going to put it in. I was just like, you do not.
Well,
do not do that.
congratulations
Yeah.
on it. It is great.
thank you.
Grave Encounters is now available on Shaw On Demand. If you want something a little spooky, make sure that you check it out.
Don't watch it at home by yourself, or this is what will happen. You will wake up the next day and you'll just be in a corner. Just like this, just against the wall, just really quietly.
Hey, Mike, that scares me. What's happening right now is scary. And the thing is, I knew he was going to do that. We're going to take a break. When we return, we've got a whole lot more coming up for you right after this. Don't go away. It's just scary that you're that close proximity-wise.